dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. We got a Tommy G inside the largest prison in Texas. Yo, Texas does have like some crazy, like when it comes down to the legal and system and stuff. You had looked up some stuff about Texas, didn't you? No, you said you did research somewhere else. It was somewhere else you did research on for Texas.
What, in school?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something else.
Yeah. My bad. But hey, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go. If you want to first support, all you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
like it with a thumbs up.
Let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get it.
Welcome to the largest prison in Texas, Coffield. Coffield, man. Coffield, man.
Tennessee what?
What are you reading?
Tennessee Colony, Texas. No, I said, right here. Prison in Tennessee Colony, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, fellas. How you guys doing today?
You know what this looks like, even though it's a prison? What else does it remind you of?
What?
I'm just asking. A school. A public high school. Like the structure, the infrastructure of it looks like I've been in schools where the gymnasium looks just like this. You know, especially older schools and stuff, like the way everything, like the brick, the layout and stuff.
I'm the very first person convicted for murder off of social media.
That low key sound like a brat. I'm trying to read the headline.
For murder.
Man gets 35 years in gang-related murder in 2009. He don't even look the same.
Off of social media.
Use of MySpace page to convict killer affirmed. A Texas appellate court unanimously affirmed the murder conviction of a Dallas man, agreeing with the trial court decision to allow his MySpace social network profile as evidence back in 2012. Was people even using MySpace in 2012? Hell no.
When did we stop using MySpace? When did we stop using MySpace?
We hopped on Facebook about 2007.
So when did we start using MySpace?
Earlier. Earlier than that.
2012? You said 2000. No, we weren't using MySpace 2000. No, we weren't using MySpace in 2000.
No.
Heck no. We stopped using MySpace.
And Instagram started popping up. And Twitter.
MySpace?
Yeah.
I didn't even know people still was able to get into that.
Yeah, it counted 2012.
That's
on Wednesday,
crazy.
the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals affirmed the conviction of Ronnie.
Maybe it was on a freeway. Maybe it was 2007, but this article was put out in 2000.
But it said use of MySpace page to convict killer affirmed. So, but I guess in the because it happened in 2007.
2007 was I think this was in. But
so we were still on MySpace in 2007. So,
yeah, in 2007, but I'm saying that's just when
and then in the trial, he was convicted in 2009. He probably appealed because they used his social media page. And he felt as though y'all shouldn't be able to use it in 2009. People still was probably using MySpace in 2009, but very rare people was using it.
Yeah.
That's crazy, though.
You step up in an environment like this, it's like walking through an invisible landmine field. Gotta be careful how you walk.
Are these the inmates? Street cars?
Me and my partners went to his side of town, and we ended up jumping on his partners. That was the birth of the beef.
The Coffield Unit. It's a name that new arrivals to the prison fear. For decades, it's carried a reputation as a brutal and unpredictable place. Located in Tennessee Colony and home to over 4,000 men, it is the largest prison
Tennessee
in
County.
Texas. Behind the barbed wire and within cell walls, tensions can run high. There's racial conflict, gang rivalries, power struggles, and stabbings. Offenders here have taken lives, done armed robberies, and the most violent crimes you can imagine. Folks, this is a brutal place to be incarcerated. Like most prisons in Texas, it is without air conditioning, and here
When I saw them boots, the first thing I thought of,
What?
Mexican got on boots.
That skit.
Yeah, that skit. That's the first thing. Because I asked my mom, said, "Is that true?" She said, "It's true. Like if you start seeing inmates putting on boots, then that's a signal of something about to go down."
a brutal place to be incarcerated. Like most prisons in Texas, it is without air conditioning, and here both inmates and staff suffer through temperatures that
Texas
can reach
is
over
hot.
110 degrees. Some say this is a violation of human rights, while others say it is a ruthless reality that comes with choosing to do unspeakable crimes. But within the dark walls of this prison, light emerges, because also at work here are innovative programs that the Texas Department of Criminal Justice is piloting in an effort to rehabilitate these men so they can one day be well integrated back into society. The man that takes us into the Coffield unit goes by Sambo. At one point, Sambo was a gang leader for one of the most powerful gangs in Texas. Of the 30 years he served in prison, 10 of them were in the Coffield unit. He was once a man that had no regard for human life, but now, a changed man, he has dedicated his life to helping others break the cycle of violence and live a life built on purpose and positivity. Today, he brings us into the Coffield unit to show us what he and the men have been working on. Join us now where no camera has gone before. Life is a mission, an adventure, a journey, and to those bold enough to dream and take action, treasure awaits them. So for the renegades, the outlaws, and the risk takers, this one's for you. This is the Underworld Collection, available only at TommyGMcGee.com.
All right, little daredevil.
We left Dallas early this morning. We took a lonesome highway road to Tennessee Colony, Texas. We're going to be visiting the largest prison in Texas. The United States locks up more people than anywhere on earth by far. If you look at the numbers, we lock up about 1% of our entire population of our country, which is a wild statistic. There are people here that haven't seen light of day as a free man for 10, 15, 20 plus years. And I'm eager to learn their stories, hear their experiences, and see how they deal with the concept of living in a cage for a good portion of their life.
Why do you think there's so many people incarcerated, as far as statistics wise?
Why do I think there's so many people incarcerated?
Like what? Why one thing? Because I was thinking, I was like, yeah, the numbers gonna automatically look bigger because America is such a large country.
Yeah, but
also it's the land of the free, so they have free will, free roam, opposed to a lot of other countries and a lot of other they can't do as much that we do. Also, we have the right to bear arms as well. So a lot of other countries, they can't do that. So a lot of things that we have in place is leading to more incarcerations. That's what I'm saying.
right, but if you was gonna answer it yourself, then why ask me? Because I was trying to understand your question. I just wanted to make sure I understood your question,
but
so
you
that I could
agree
process it. But yeah, I agree with you.
But do you feel like there's other things that might?
I mean, maybe there's other things as well. I mean, yeah, of course, there's probably other things as well. But yeah, but I think those are like some of the main things as to what you said.
They deal with the concept of living in a cage for a good portion of their life. This, folks, will be unprecedented access to the Coffield unit in Tennessee Colony, Texas.
Go ahead.
Have a good day.
What's up, my brother?
How you doing, brother?
All right.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, man. Y'all can park anywhere back here. We're just waiting on them because we got to unload this stuff. All right?
Cool.
And get ready to come out.
You ever been inside of a prison? I used to have to drop my mama off at them gates all the time. I never been in though.
Hey, you need to leave your driver's licenses here. All right. And then you need to sign in.
Are you familiar with this place?
No, I'm from San Francisco. This is the largest maximum security unit in Texas. 4,100 inmates on this farm.
Come on, let's go.
That's the priest.
Freedom members.
How are you? How you doing, brother?
Walking in single file line, man.
Tommy G. Tommy Jose. You know about me. Yeah, I'm the one saying I'm Semble boy, man.
Man, how are you today?
Good, how you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. Give the people the lay of the land. What's happening here?
Okay, so this is the chapel here on Coffield. These are some of my co-workers.
God bless you guys.
Let them introduce themselves.
Juan Ballesteros, man of peace, also a gatekeeper here.
What's a gatekeeper?
Gatekeeper is we talk to the guys when they first come in the unit, so we help them kind of transition into the new area, the environment that they're coming into. So yeah, we're kind of one of the first guys that they meet. So
And what is this unit known for?
well, back in the day, it was like rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Right? So it was really going down with gangs and all that.
To give you an idea of what we are walking into, let's give you some insights on the history of violence here at the Coffield unit. In September of 2023, an inmate at Coffield unit stabbed a guard. After he was restrained, the inmate was severely beaten by guards and hospitalized. 13 guards resigned or were fired shortly after. For a prison facing staffing shortages, incidents like this put further pressure on the guards. Also in September of 2023, Billy Chamirmir, killer of 22 women, died at the hands of his cellmate. And if you read the accounts written by inmates on prisonwriters.com, you'll see countless stories of men being stabbed, strangled, and extorted. So knowing full well the violence that lurked within these walls, my aim was to find the humanity within these men.
When I was there, it was a very violent, volatile environment. Violence is what set the standard. So I knew that my only method of progress would be to instill the most fear in as many people as possible.
Well, I got a little life sentence, right? Been here 17 years. I was high on drugs, so drugs made me snatch a lady's purse, which gave me a life sentence. Second time down. First time was a DWI, 2-year sentence, and then they shot me with a life sentence 5 years later. I wasn't arrested, but I was rescued. So to me, that is a blessing.
I'm locked up.
He ain't getting them details. You ain't getting life in prison for just snatching a purse.
Yeah.
Like, it's some other
Some
stuff.
other things, but he was like, just.
Nah, you got to own it. That's the thing. A lot of people don't own their crimes.
For possession with intent to deliver. And I've been locked up for about to be 16 years.
Organized crime with murder, you know what I'm saying? One of my partners we went to go meet up to fight outside this little parking lot or whatever, and in the midst of the fight supposed to happen, people started shooting, you know what I'm saying? They charged me for being like a witness to the murder without saying something, you know.
I'm an ex-Mexican Mafia gang member. I spent almost 13 years with that family. I'm not proud to say, but
So you said his homie died, right?
Like, we talk about this. So y'all went to fight. And in the midst of it, because I guess you took him to wherever, he lost his life, and they charged you with the crime.
They can charge you with the murder, not a witness to a murder.
Not the witness, and that's the thing.
On the charge, and that's the thing.
Just say what just say what it is. Like, they charged you for,
and say, hey. Because my thing is, it's still not taking ownership, it's still not taking accountability for everything that happened. Because if you didn't go with him to it, and clear heads prevail, instead of acting off on emotions. Instead of acting off on emotions, he could still be here today.
Or what I was about to say is, he didn't say who died. I don't know. He didn't say who died. He just said that someone did, but he didn't say that it was his. So, I said that, so my bad. But somebody did, and I guess he didn't give. I don't know.
Reason why I say that is because I remember a case back home. 2 guys came from another county, came over, because that's one thing. Like it's everywhere. Never mind.
That's everywhere.
So they came over, pull up. Came to a popular neighborhood in the town. I guess they was into it with some guys over there. They decided they were going to do a drive-by. They started shooting at the dudes. The dudes returned fire. They hit the guy that was in the car with him, hit him straight up in the head. Russian, they sped away, went to a nearby gas station, and called for the police trying to get him help. Unfortunately, friend died, but he was charged with the murder. A lot of people didn't understand why he was being charged with the murder, but it was because y'all came to the area. Y'all initiated a situation that could have been avoidable. The situation led to somebody being killed.
So you're being charged with it, opposed to the person that actually.
And I don't even think they even knew who was shooting.
Yeah.
Almost 13 years with that family. I'm not proud to say, but I stabbed somebody 22 times.
Where were your parents in the picture?
Well, my dad he had his own issues, and my mama was there. My mama got 7 kids. She had 7 kids by the time she was 28. So I can't fathom being a 28-year-old single parent with 7 kids.
It sounds impossible.
Yes, and then 6 boys. But I realized as a grown-up, that, man, it was like borderline impossible for my mama to do that stuff on her own. You know what I'm saying?
I grew up with my mama and my granny, really, you know what I'm saying, and my aunties and stuff like that. But my daddy, he was here and there. So growing up, man, my mama really, she was there, like, we was into like the church or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But as I got older, I started getting kind of tired of it. So, but my mama always told me to like do the right thing, you know what I'm saying? Seeing for it's good and positive on me. But as I grew, I kind of got with the wrong crowd and I started seeing the money, the cars, the jewelry, stuff like that, typical neighborhood stuff, and things flourished into stuff that it wasn't supposed to be, which led me right here.
What message you have to the youth out there that are doing very risky things and they're not here yet, but they're on that path?
You gotta stop and think before you start doing, man, because it's gonna lead you in a bad situation, man. In prison, like, this is not what's up, you know what I'm saying? And if I could have thought back before what I did as a youngster, I would have did something differently, you know what I'm saying? So the same hood or the same people you doing it for, when you get here, not gonna be here.
What happened in your childhood and your upbringing that led to you becoming a killer?
So there's some things, man, that I've talked to very few people about. I was molested as a child, and because of it, man, it made me be a very, very angry individual. And I found out some things about myself with that anger, man. I embraced that anger and I turned to it for everything. I wouldn't let nobody get close to me. Just pushed everybody away. That anger was just always there and was quick to turn from anger to rage.
Is there any opportunities here for therapy or to talk through some of the things that you've seen in your life?
Well, I've talked to people who I know that are on the same page as I am, man, changing and growing up in life. I've talked to them about these things. Some of them are shocked at, the things that I talked to them about what's happened and, where it led me.
Earlier in the day, we had spoken to a family that was on the way to see their son.
My name is Kenneth Young, and I am the director at East Texas Hospitality House here in Tennessee Colony. What we do is we provide lodging and meals and encouragement to families who are visiting somebody who's incarcerated in the Tennessee Colony area. We have a gathering room in there, we have games, we have puzzles, we have places to sit, double beds with bunk beds. We've got different bedding arrangements for the different sizes of families.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes they just need prayer and a hug, and to know that God's love is surrounding them, and they become part of our family when they come here. They mean more to us than just someone off the street because they become part of our lives.
I'm here visiting my brother Charles Bree.
Okay, and where are you from?
California.
And how did he end up all the way over here?
He got caught up.
He got caught up in some.
In Texas, it's crazy.
I don't feel the time he got was it didn't match the.
It didn't match the crime.
A lot of people what they get for that crime. I feel that they railroaded him because of who the victim was and who the victim knew. The victim was related to the chief of police. They didn't even really give him a chance.
What was the crime and what was the time?
Murder, self-defense, and they gave him 50 years. They said he was guilty before they even said he was guilty. They said he was guilty 3 days before they even put the real motion, like, okay, you're guilty. Like,
no,
we are sacrificing, but it's a sacrifice that I don't mind.
It's because they railroaded my son, and You know, like a crime was committed.
Yes.
But he was fighting for his life at the same time. Like, tell him that we love him, we praying for him. Charlie, you know I got you, baby.
Tell him keep his head up and, you know, just inspire others in there.
And what role does religion play in y'all's life?
Religion played the biggest role in my life because if it wasn't for God, if it wasn't for my relationship with Jesus, then me and you wouldn't even be talking right now.
You're going to hear religion mentioned a lot in this episode, so for reference, we're talking to a group of guys who are involved in the Christian ministries within the prison.
I used to be on the other side, now I'm on the best side. So our objective is to show them, remind them that, hey, brother, you might feel alone, but you're not alone. You might feel left out, but you're not left out. You might feel like nobody care about you, but we're here to show you that somebody do care about you.
Big thank you.
And I say this, sometimes, like, because reference back to the family, sometimes also you kind of want to do your own research on the crimes that your family member might have committed, right? Because sometimes that emotional and that family connection, and you knowing them the way that you know them, it makes you kind of blinded of what could have actually happened within whatever case they might have. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, growing up, I always, like, my cousin, he just came home for doing over 25 years. Growing up, I always heard the case one way. Hearing the stories the family told. Doing my own research, you know what I'm saying, looking into it a certain way, it's like, okay, now I get to see what was really. They still kind of.
But even with that, you don't really know what really.
Yeah. But it kind of paint the picture possibly a different way than how everybody put it. You know what I'm saying? Because some people still, like me, if I go to jail, I ain't gonna tell my mom exactly what I did. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, because I still don't want my mom to know that side of me. You know what I mean? So you might try to pacify it up for your mom to be able to take it.
But that's right. But what I'm saying is still no one truly will know. Even the people involved told they side, which technically some said was the truth. Some come out later and say that, hey, I lied and it wasn't the truth. And we just put everything on this one person so that we can get away with something. True. So you still don't know truly what happened. And with that person that they put everything on, not talking and saying anything, and they going down for it, what do you, what's the truth? You know what I'm saying?
And I think a lot of people who do go incarcerated, I think they end up leaving the earth with the truth.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't think that, like, even their mom, they ain't going to be like, Mom, I was a monster. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You don't want your mom to know that, your sister to know that. Like, I decided to do this heinous crime because that's what I was on, you know?
Feel like nobody care about you, but we're here to show you that somebody do care about you.
Big thank you to the wardens and all the administration here. This is an unbelievable opportunity to talk to these gentlemen, to learn. I'm honored to be here. To wardens around the country, if you can invite us in, we'd love to come talk to you, your men, your people as well. It's a blessing to be here.
I like that shirt you got on.
I appreciate it.
Mainstream media. Rest in peace, mainstream media. I pray for these brothers. I pray for their families. But I pray you show them grace and mercy in that. Because your word tells us that if they visit the least of these, that they visit you.
We just prayed, and now we're moving on to the gym. Because really the goal of this is to show people's life and story and situation and learn. I'm hoping we can do that in the gym. And maybe the warden feels a little better and we go other places too.
We had gone into this prison thinking that we would be allowed to film wherever we wanted, but the captain of the guards called a meeting and informed us that we were only permitted to film in the chapel and the gymnasium. It was disappointing news to hear, but I kept in mind what a crazy opportunity this was, so I was eager to head to the gymnasium away from the watchful eye of the guard captain.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up let y'all brothers speak. Y'all can all say whatever, however, 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever y'all wanna give about yourselves, about what y'all do, you know what I mean, where y'all coming from. Then we're gonna have some of the peer influencers speak up a little bit, say what they do here on the unit, and then start doing a little bit of other things that we got involved for it.
It's that fun, man. I think it'll be a good day.
Are we gonna get to eat the lunch here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the actual lunch?
You want to eat that? No, you don't want to eat that.
I want to try it.
You want to try it?
I want to try it.
All right, we'll take you on. You want just the regular?
I'll do a food review, yeah. The crab and the ribeye, please, okay?
The crab and the ribeye?
What's for dessert? Is there like a hot fudge sundae or something?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Cheesecake?
Cheesecake. We got homemade cheesecake out of cookies.
What are your best recipes you got here for making stuff?
I like to do a fish bowl. Some sausages, jalapenos, pickles, the mackerel, original mackerel. Then I put sriracha mac and I put a tuna. And some jalapeno
so
tuna.
the fish come in later.
This is like a little thing for growth that we do every Friday. And we're gonna do a little bit of performing, front line, and we're gonna do a little bit of rap.
I made the personal choice to become a better individual, to become a better man.
And I fell into the street life. You know, I succumbed to the elements of the street. If I was gonna be a gangster, I was gonna be the hardest gangster there ever was. I was involved at the highest level of criminality. For a homicide I did not do, I took the blame because I didn't, snitch on nobody. I finally realized that I needed to use my influence in a positive and productive way. I renounced my membership in the gang and just started doing positive things on my cell block. And I'm out here in the free world doing the same thing that I was doing in there, but out here modeling it.
I had no idea until about 10 minutes before that I was going to be going up to give a speech in front of the inmates. Not only was I nervous, but I wanted to say something that actually mattered to these guys. Here's what I came up with.
Hello fellas, how you guys doing today? So, my name is Tommy G. I'm a documentary filmmaker, and I'm here today to talk to you guys, get your stories, hear about your life, hear your perspective. But I want to tell you 2 stories that might give you hope right now. There was a time in my life about 4 years ago, I hated my job, I hated where I was in life, I wasn't happy. What I did is I wrote a list, ideas that can change my life, and I just one by one started executing on them. One of them was a documentary film on a group in my hometown, Milwaukee, called the Kia Boys. I documented their life, what they do. The Kia Boys are a bunch of teenagers that will take your Kia if they can find it. And I knew this is my path to be a documentary filmmaker. So I just want you to have the hope that there's one little thing that can pivot and change your life and shift you into the path that you want to go. Another thing I want to say, one of my best friends on earth, when he was in his 20s, he robbed 6, 7, 8 banks in California. He served 10 years in California. He's been out for 20 years. He's a family man. He's a multi-millionaire. All right? And he's someone that I love a lot. Brothers, I'm excited to talk to you. I'm excited to interview you. Come up and say hi to me, and thank you for having me today.
That's something I never expected to do, but I'm glad I did. When life serves you on a path, sometimes you just gotta run and take it, even if it feels a little scary. If there's something you need to pull the trigger on in your life, what are you waiting for?
Whatever y'all doing and whatever y'all dreaming about doing, or whatever goals y'all making, bro, just don't give up, bro. I love y'all. How many of us wanted to be famous when we were kids? Raise your hand. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would become famous for something I would regret later in life. I'm the very first person convicted for murder off of social media. If you look up Tienda versus State, I'm the very first one convicted through the United States. Posting pictures of myself, but because I had gang-related tattoos, they were saying that I was staying in contact or recruiting gang members. And then somebody started talking to me negatively on social media, so I started talking negative back, and that led into incriminating myself. It wasn't until a man came up to my cell one day and asked to pray for me. And you know what I did? The monster in me, I cussed this man out. F-bombs, the Lord names in vain. Come to find out, he was a unit chaplain. And as he's praying for me, I stop a mid-sentence to stop, because he said that I would go back to population. I told him, I'm in SEG, how am I gonna go back to population? My God could do the impossible. Do you actually believe in your life God could do the impossible? Yeah. Not only did God restore my family, my mom came to see me. And it wasn't until she came to Coffield and I finally got to hug my mother after 5 years in a soft voice. She tells me like an angel, I'm so proud of you. God bless, and if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be taking the steps today. Thank you, gentlemen.
What normally happens Monday through Friday here?
Usually on Saturday, you go to church. That's probably about the only thing that we got to look forward to on the weekend. Church services, unless they have an event like this that we can come to. But most of the time, you got to get laid in. You got to know somebody that'll put you in. Monday through Friday, well, it all depends on what you're doing for yourself. Either you get involved in school, spiritual-based classes, or you can just get stuck on the wing and do nothing.
What do a lot of the guys do here to pass time?
Me, I'm involved in spiritual-based classes. So right now, I'm involved in culinary arts class. So pretty much every day of the week, I'm involved in class.
So 2 questions that a lot of people in society are asking right now. Number 1 is, does prison rehabilitate people? And number 2 is it the job of prison to rehabilitate people?
That is a good question.
What was the second one?
Is it their job to rehabilitate people?
Is it the prison's job?
Yeah. Does prison really
rehabilitate
people? And is it their job to rehabilitate people? Because you got to understand, like, what was the prison system originally
designed for?
Mm-hmm. And then once we understand that, we can understand everything else. You know what I'm saying?
I've never really thought about. I have thought about the first. I had never thought about the second part of the question.
Do you think prison rehabilitate people?
If you're open for rehabilitation, I do. I feel like you have to be truly open and willing for change, to want to
Because typically,
I feel like it can. And the reason why I say that is because I've seen it firsthand.
So I was gonna say, typically when I see people who become go through the rehabilitation process of it, it's those who do long bids. Those who do short bids typically no.
No, I'm not even talking about people that do short bids. When I think about prison, my mind goes straight to people that's doing longer bids. Even though I know some people in there just maybe 5 years.
Because I know people who go in there for 2-3 years, and they come home.
Something like that.
They be on the same,
and they be on the same stuff.
Or 5 years, and they come back home.
And they come on the same whatever.
But I also know, I personally know people I grew up with, home with. This is what they're going to see for the rest of their life. They're going to die behind them. And they've been in there since we were 18, 19, 17 years old. And I'm like, damn, bro.
I know someone.
You gone for the rest of your life for a murder, bro. And there be situations, and I'll be like one person I know, I'm like, damn, bro. You really, killed somebody. You gone. But because I'm like, and I understand it. But I'm like, I don't justify it, but I understand it. And there was, looking at him at the age I am now, I'm like, there was other options.
Yeah.
But when it first happened, I'm like, shit, you did what you had to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, if I was in that situation, I possibly had this same situation. And I'm like, low key, possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
But also taking somebody else's life doesn't always resolve the issue you might have.
Right. But I do think that it depends on how much, how long you're in there, the person. I feel like different things go into as far as the rehabilitation. I feel like you said, some people that have short bids, they come out and they be on the same thing or whatever the case may be, or they be in and out the prison system. Nothing really changes for real. But you do have the people that's in there for a long time. It's this can't be that they're coming home.
Yeah.
They have the option to come home and stuff like that or whatever. And then you have the ones that they know they probably will never see, outside of those gates.
Some of them do be rehabilitated though. Even the ones that life will never come. Some of them
That's
do
what
become.
I'm getting to.
But some of them, they be like, hey, if I'm going to do this time, I'm going to do this time and be the biggest dude
I mean, cool. Yeah, do you? But what I was getting to is some people that may have a life sentence, they do still, want better for themselves, even within those, walls or whatever. And they okay, I want to change. I at least want to be a better person while I'm in here. Yeah. Whatever the case may be. But
or you got some who fake rehabilitate.
And I
some of them do because if they take certain classes, I know back in the day. Now I know Tennessee now. they don't go by those rules and stuff. But some people, if I take these classes, if I try to act like I'm a stand-up guy, I can get some time reduced off my sentence.
Yeah.
For all these classes and for being on good behavior, and then they come home and be on the same bullshit.
Yeah. So.
But is it their job to? That's a good question. Personally,
I can't answer that
until
question.
I really think on it. Just right now, give my answer right now. I'm feeling like no.
I can't answer the second part, and I'm not gonna say yes or no now. I just can't answer because I've never thought about it.
But deep thought, I would have to look at a lot of obstacles. But just like thinking of it right now, I'm like, technically, it's not their job. Like, is it like?
Okay.
Well, so I can say this. I just did 14 years down here. I stepped out for about a year and a half. You know, it boils down to what the person wants to do. You know, I know before I left, I wrote down a bunch of things that I didn't want to do, and I guess I still desired to do those things. I still wanted to use drugs. You know, thanks to God, I came back with an 8-year sentence, and then this time, you know, my whole perception of prison has changed. To me, I see it as a school. You know, you have a lot of opportunities, so I'm taking advantage of every opportunity down here.
Out there 8.5 years of solitary confinement.
8.5 years?
8.5 years solitary in Rome.
How did you survive that mentally?
Mentally, I read, I prayed, I worked down. I kept my mind focused. You know, don't get me wrong, I see people commit suicide, come out, get killed, get stabbed, you know, the whole 9 yards. But I seen it all, man. Himself, you name it.
When a prisoner is deemed too dangerous for the general population, they are sent to a place designed to isolate and contain, solitary confinement. Here, they are locked in a windowless cell, no larger than a parking space, for up to 23 hours a day. Their only reprieve each day is a brief hour for exercise alone in another cage. Days blur into weeks, weeks stretch into years, and some inmates endure this for decades. This raises an unsettling question. Does solitary confinement cross the line into inhumane punishment, or is this a necessary evil? What do you do with inmates who have relentlessly and brutally attacked fellow prisoners or guards? This is a question that we as a society are still figuring out.
Do you think that should be allowed?
Which is true, like, because a lot of people do think of it as being inhumane, like we trapped up in cages. They do say mankind wasn't meant to, so what, like, but I always say this, if you complain about one thing, you gotta also have an answer for what you complain about.
What's the solution?
Yeah.
Like, if you feel like that's inhumane, then what's the solution to keep the guards and keep other inmates safe?
Because this is the safest solution they came up with. It might be inhumane, but it's like a punishment. You already in here for punishment. Now we have to do a punishment on top of a punishment. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we can't kick you out. Say, you too bad. We gotta kick you up out of here. You know, because you already removed from society for a reason.
Yeah.
And then you just even more hell in it. So we got to remove you from the hell. So it's yeah. Because I've always thought about this, and with my mom working in the prison for so many years, 10 plus years, we had these conversations, and no one ever has came up or had an idea for a better solution to
deal with situations like this. For people to have to even go into solitary confinement.
I wonder, I'm sure my cousin, I'm sure I got a couple cousins who have been in solitary. And I be wanting to ask them questions, but I'm like, how do you approach someone with certain questions? You know?
Or guards. This is a question that we as a society are still figuring out.
Do you think that should be allowed to put a human in solitary confinement for 8 years?
No, I think that's humane because I believe people deserve a chance. Now, if they're a threat to everybody, yeah, I mean, I can see what they're talking about, you know, but I mean, they would have to be a real serial killer, like not.
That goes with that's the psychological aspect. I did 5.5 years in set. You know, not everybody's mentally strong. You know, people are chemically imbalanced. I mean, not everybody can deal with the solitude back there.
Also, I agree. Like as far as like that part, for some of the people that go into solitary confinement, what's the reasoning for them going in there?
Especially 8.5 years.
Like 8.5 years. That's
I would have to talk to my mom because I swear I thought it was a limit to how much, but also I thought this as well, for somebody to be in solitary confinement for 8 years, every time you was getting time added on because you were doing something in solitary, whether you was attacking the guards when you do interact with the guards, or you were doing this and doing this, so they added more time. But what I was told, if it's not like PC, like going PC, PC is still solitary because it's still protected custody, it's still keeping you away from other inmates. Some people go, that's voluntary. That's where you want to be at. You know what I'm saying? Some people, hey, you in PC for 6 months, but you will do something PC. All right, you added another 6 months. Now you got a year, and you keep adding time. You know what I'm saying? Because
I get what you're saying. I just feel like as far as like people that's going in there, I feel like if they're like you said, if they are like if they are, what's the word? I cannot think.
A threat.
A threat. Yeah. So simple. Yeah, if they like are a threat to like other inmates or the guards and stuff like that, or even like the nurses, like people like that. Then okay, I can kind of like understand it. Not necessarily the amount of time.
But if you're constantly getting in trouble,
but if you're constantly getting in trouble, or you like really like on some other stuff, I get it, because where else is there for you to go?
I'm gonna ask my mom, like, what is the typical, like, if somebody gets in trouble, they say, hey, you got solitary, like, what is it typically? Because I swear, I don't think it's years. I don't think they put, hey, you going to solitary for 8 years.
For 8 years, like that's just like the initial. Yeah, is what you're saying.
Initial,
like,
then you keep chunking it. You doing something again, time chunked.
Like okay, you going to
solitary confinement.
You going to solitary confinement for, say, for instance, for like
90 days.
I was about to say 60 days, 90 days, 60 days, whatever. Yeah. Okay. I've seen that. I've heard that. But 8 years.
So peep this. Think about like what's the one Martin Lawrence in the National Security? Remember the police officer went to prison? He was like, what's the best way for me to stay out from population because the population want to hurt me? Punch the police, punch the...
Oh, yeah.
So he went to solitary, and he was like, how long I've been in here? He got this much more time. He's like, all right, punch the security
and get more, go right back. And go right back.
So I can just do my time while...
Because you don't want to be... Yeah. So that's why I'm just like, I'm wondering, like his deal.
Because he said it's inhumane, but I'm like, if you're constantly causing problems... You're putting yourself in there.
Like, I just have to know the situation. Everybody's situation is different, and I just have to know the situation.
But I'm just saying, I've never heard people
I've never heard of it, but again, I'm not in that system or...
And that's the reason why I say I would have to call my mom and ask her, because she...
And I don't know if different prisons operate different. I don't know if, like...
That is true.
I don't know. So, yeah.
But yes.
I mean, not everybody can deal with the solitude back there.
Because, some people will find this is a problem.
What?
That they're having a good time in prison. They were like, hey, they're not there to have a good time. They're not there to socialize like this. They're there for a punishment. Mm-hmm. They should be in their cells. They should be doing time. Some people do have a problem with that.
Yeah, I know people do.
Oh, they shouldn't be playing, but like only time is like wreck yard or whatever. But being able to move freely and move this and do this and do this, like even like my mom used to be like, oh, I'm getting the inmates, they got pizza day. Yeah, I'm like, pizza day. Yeah, we trying to like, and they get a whole pizza by themselves. I'm like, for fucking what?
Yeah.
And then you like, who's the taxpayer, my taxpayer money ain't finna go supply a murderer with pizza on pizza day.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this is where my taxpayer money go because they had a good week, and so they get a free pizza while I gotta work hard and buy my own pizza. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they already get free, free house, free food, free everything.
Have you eaten yet today?
No, not yet.
Normally, is breakfast served earlier? You just didn't go?
Oh, yeah. It's too early for me. Breakfast is approximately about, let's say, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Breakfast is at 3 or 4 in the morning?
And it's not very filling. Well, just due to the schedule, because it's such a large unit, I would believe on other units, they probably serve at different times. But on Coffield, it used to be at 2 o'clock, believe it or not. So,
in the morning.
In the morning. So
and then you go back to sleep.
And then you got to go back to sleep. And a lot of people have to get up and go to school and things of that nature there. So people are in general used to get up around about 3 o'clock and starting our day then, and then we'll end up going to bed around about 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them. Bring them. Finish it. Bring them. Finish it. Go deep. Finish it. Bring them. Go deep. Y'all watch them. Everybody watch them.
Tell me, you ain't gonna be able to keep up with no inmate. Them motherfuckers work out, bro.
Baby, that's all they do.
Like RP your cousin, but when he went in chunky, came out muscular,
Baby,
and
gained
their weight right back when he came
and
out.
gained it back. Yeah, rest
Like
in peace
what?
to him, though.
How many push-ups you do today?
Man, probably like 250, 300. That's just an exercise. But
Right,
then right now, that's something different.
What's the most you've done in a day?
Oh, probably like 1,000. 100 sit-ups, 200 squats, something to keep it going.
We just want to say, man, we both from the Arlington, Texas, man. So shout out to Agtown, Texas, man.
Shout out to Ag, man.
You know what's crazy? Let me show you how good God is, man. We used to be enemies in the world.
Yeah, man.
Right? We literally used to beef with each other. Like, for real.
Try to kill each other out there.
But now look at God. You know what I'm saying? Now we doing ministry together.
So back in the day, you guys used to beef. Tell me about that.
Well, so we both got two different reasons why the beef started, which is funny. So the beef started from my perspective is because one of my partners who is dead now, rest in peace, Shot Merck, right? He got jumped on his side of town. So then me and my partners went to his side of town and we ended up jumping on his partners. And then to him, that was the birth of the beef.
When they jumped my people, they thought we jumped his people. I'm like, man, nah. So we really we clashed and started really killing each other for nothing, man.
How many people you think?
And that's how and I'm gonna say this, and that's how most street, neighborhood, block beefs always start. Nobody really knows.
You just assume.
You're assuming it's a lot of he say, she say stuff. And it's a lot of, man, nah, they ain't finna come over here. And then what happens is generation after generation after generation inherit the beef. They don't know what they beefing about.
They don't even know what they beefing
about. They
about.
just know, hey, I'm from this side. We don't mess with that side. And then some people might not even want to be on that. But what happened is you get caught up because you from that side. Mm-hmm. And just because you from that side, that's how automatically ain't gonna like you. You like, I ain't got no problem with y'all. But you just be thrown into something that you have no dealings with. And then you get thrown into it. You like, well, I gotta hop out the porch. And you hop out the porch and be involved in something that can take your life in 5 years from now.
Yep.
But that's how a lot of times it happened though.
We clashed and started really killing each other for nothing, man.
How many people you think died in this beef?
I know I had like 3 on my side.
Nobody from my side died, but I lost more homeboys to the system than I have to death.
And how far did each squad live away from each other?
Man, we went 10 minutes apart.
Yeah, we about 10 minutes.
What does it feel like now to have peace and love for each other?
I mean, it's good. I mean,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it make me think about all the life lost and years wasted, only to conclude that we all right.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy? They say they 10 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
Most neighborhood beefs don't even be that far.
Don't even be that far. Sometimes it just be a block over.
A block over, two, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, or like where we from, a lot of like the things that separate us is train tracks and stuff like that.
Oh, ours ain't
well, ours is like, so I'll just say ours. I can't speak, but like, or a street.
Ours is literally a street.
I'm just giving different scenarios, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm just reiterating where I'm from. Like, it's literally just a main street. Y'all neighborhood right here, neighborhood right here, neighborhood. Now, they do beef with the other people around the side across town, but it's really like, you can be beefing. You stay here, the next person, they across that main street, they on their side, and you beefing with them. And so it be that close. And it's that dangerous. And that's how many people, that's the reason why. So, and honestly, if they were closer, more people would possibly have died. That, honestly, that 10 minutes is long enough where a lot of people don't have to die. But with a lot of people being such in close proximity, that's the reason why so many people die, you know? Because it takes no time for us to say, hey, let's go over there. We just go, boom, shoot some people, come right back, and we gone. You know? But you said y'all's is what?
It's about the same. I just said like a street or train tracks. It could like separate people. But we can get back to it.
Nah, for real. That's what it is.
The only reason we're in here today is because of this man here, Sambo. Tell the people your story.
Well, I did 30 years in prison for murder I didn't do. But God put it in my heart to come back to prison after doing 30 flat years and to give a message of hope to the brothers on lock. Because it was the programs that TDCJ offered me that strengthened my character and gave me the tools that I needed to become an asset out there in the community and no longer a liability.
Tell me about the innovative programs TDCJ is offering.
TDC offers a vast array of innovative programs. They offer the Field Minister program, they offer the Faith-Based Dorm program, they offer the Self-Harm program. TDCJ has put these programs in place, but they're all volunteers, so it's up to the offender to take advantage and to seize the opportunity and make the most of it, to acquire the tools that they need while they're incarcerated, so that way they can come out here to the free world and have the tools that they need to reenter back into society in its proper context.
So today I walk as a father, a husband, and a man of God. But my example is one so that I can give inspiration and motivation to the brothers that are locked up. Tommy G opened the door. We got Peso with us and Payday and Joe. We made it happen today here on the Coffield unit.
Tell me about your 11 years of administrative segregation.
It was a time of reflection and introspection. You know, I was there because the system couldn't control me because of my violent nature. But while I was in there, I had to sit back and realize that I had more value, more self-worth, that I was able to be more than just a TDCJ number, that I had the ability to give back and that I still had value. I come back to the prisons, not just to support these brothers, but to get fed spiritually and psychologically as well. Because when I see them continue on doing the things that they're doing, it motivates me out here in the free world as well. My thing is to let the world know that there are brothers that are incarcerated that are doing the right thing, that should have the opportunity to get out there and give back.
I appreciate you. It's an honor.
God bless you, man. God first.
One big question we have to tackle is when is the right time to release someone back into society? How can we evaluate when someone has truly changed and is no longer a threat to safety? The U.S. Department of Justice ran a 24-state study and concluded that 82% of inmates were arrested at least once more within 10 years of release. But why is this? Environment, job opportunities, socioeconomics. I mean, we are talking about millions of men that are oftentimes locked up during what is supposed to be the most productive and fruitful years of their life. And it's a shame, but I have one idea that might help. Most of these guys are released from prison without a dollar to their name, so many return to the same ways to make money that got them locked up in the first place. What if instead of these guys working for free, like they do in Texas, or 9 cents an hour like they do in Illinois, what if we paid them a little bit more, so that when a man who has served and worked for 10 years gets out, he has a nest egg in which he can rent an apartment, pay for transportation, and buy the necessities he needs to exist in the free world. Maybe I'm just a pot-smoking hippie for saying this, but if the goal is to truly rehabilitate these men and make society better, then let's put our money where our mouth is.
How many people are in each cell?
2-man cells, man. These cells are so small. It's like a 6 by 9. You hear them? About 54.
You can't even fit 2 dogs.
Yeah, you can't. It's a cage.
So, what else do you have to think about living in a cell with another person?
Everything you do. You have to think about everything. You have to think about how loud you get up. If you're on top bunk, you can't step on the bottom bunk. You might wake him up. You have to think about everything. You can't drop things. You know what I'm saying? You got everything if you're respectful. You know what I'm saying?
What do you wish would change about the justice system?
I wish that they would really take an individual and look at the history that he has in his prison and the true change that he made. It's a lot of brothers in here that had committed crimes as kids and they're still in prison with too high sentences. And they've changed their lives. They done went to college. They done all type of things that get ignored, unfortunately.
By show of hands, who would say they grew up in poverty? Show of hands, how many of you had your father in your life growing up as a kid? How many of you didn't? Do you feel like that was a big reason why you chose the path you did, was a lack of a father?
Of course, of course.
My father was there. It was more so the attention. You know, I mean, I lived in the household with my dad, but he didn't show me that fatherly attention that I expected from my father. That's why I lacked that.
How many of you think in some way prison was actually a blessing for your life?
I'm here trying to pay the laws off.
Somebody called the doctor, because I'm sick of this. In my heart, it was blacker than some licorice. And just like cinnamon, it was hard to swallow. Yeah, my old lifestyle, it was hard to follow. But Christ came. My life changed. He renewed my mind, new mind frame, filled with the Spirit. That's how I maintain. Now I do everything in Jesus' name. But it took me to getting locked up to find freedom. Met Christ and I realized I really need him. Because like the children of Israel, I was lost people. Now I'm playing the role of Moses because I'm trying to lead them. Yeah.
We got into a prison today. I think we learned a lot. A lot of guys that are changing their life around and have tough stories to hear. And I think this is important because we as a country have to talk about incarceration and justice because it's important for the victim and their family to be taken care of, but also the perpetrator to be assigned a proper time. Thanks for joining me on this episode. We'll see you guys next week.
But like he just said, like victims, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do have to think about the victims of all these crimes because there's no crime committed if there's not a victim, right? So, with that being said, how do we think a victim responds to a murderer said, hey, you get 25 years, but if you do this, you can get out in 5 years. How do you think them victims feel?
But not everyone in there are murderers, though.
No, I'm just using that as an example. I said 25 years, but if you do this. I said somebody who you stole all of my money. You stole, like, you did white collar crime. You embezzled my money. You stole all of it. I have nothing now. I'm left to struggle. But you became a millionaire. You lived this lavish life, and now you tell me you only get 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
But it might take me 15 years to get back on my feet. So when you come back out, you get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, those are good questions. Those are questions for someone who has been affected by people that have wronged them or whatever the case may be. If the people are even still alive, but then that's questions you have to ask family members because if, like, as far as like murders, the victims are unfortunately now deceased. So you do have some family members that may forgive and feel like, whoever the person is, the suspect, that, the person that's incarcerated may deserve another chance. So everything is kind of case by case. I be a little conflicted with it, depending on what the crime is and when did you commit the crime and what was the degree of the crime. Like, it's so many things that play a role for me to be like, this person deserves a second chance, or this person has changed, or this person deserves to be out, in the free world to whatever.
But also, I'll say this: when you see somebody constantly committing crime after crime after crime, say like some states have like armed habitual, because you constantly getting caught with a weapon.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not learning.
Right, and
so like, do I get mad because you keep getting caught with a gun and say, hey, take it easy on them? No, because you're not learning the lesson. You're not putting yourself in a better.
Right.
So I don't think we'll ever have the correct answer for anything. And that's the reason why studies, and that's the reason why if you do want to see a change, go into that profession to make a change and understand what you want to, like.
Because you'll have somebody that committed this crime. Like, you'll have two people that committed the same crime, but one of them probably has, like, changed and really can, go out and do a whole 180 and change their entire life and never commit another crime. Then you'll have the other person that they in and out the system or never change, or.
But that's the reason why also people like, hey, I might have changed, but it's the percentage of chance that you will commit another crime is the reason why they won't, because we've seen this already done before, and people stay to come back. So we're not gonna use you as this person is the different.
Yeah.
We got these statistics already to prove that, hey, that's the reason why statistics are there. Unfortunately.
Yep.
But hey, it's a hard topic to speak on.
When it comes to like situations and stuff like this, I don't like speaking on it, but at the same time, I'm like,
the conversation needs to be had.
The conversation still needs to be had. Don't like speaking on it. The conversation needs to be had. I don't have the answers. Then I definitely will have to do way more research, way more like read on it, like really like look at the numbers, like just so much stuff goes into it. But I do have people in my life and my family that has went to prison and has gotten out. Some have went back before, some have never went back, and it's just
some have changed and
some has changed, some has changed and then got caught up, went back, and but you know these people, and like these not. It's just so much.
And that's and that's the reason why earlier when I said like you personally be knowing it, people like, no, I can't do it, but like you know them a certain way, but you don't know that side of them, and that's why I said it. And earlier. It's like you don't know that dark side of them. And
it's like sometimes you do know the dark side,
but you also a lot of times you don't know.
You don't know, like you know the dark sides of people, but at the same time, it's just like. You still you're blinded in a sense because these are your family members. These are the people that you love. These are the people,
your friends.
These like you know that good side, and that good side is a good, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like you a little blinded by like I don't want to know that side. So you kind of like turn a blind eye in a sense, which is not right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. These are conversations that need to be had, but
it's hard to have them, but they need to be had at the same time. But hey, man, y'all spam us up in the comments, man. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts and opinions about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are.
Kid and C.
We are.
Time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my power.